This morning, the Connecticut National Guard is heading down to North Carolina. They're going to be helping Hurricane Helen victims who are still suffering from that incredible damage that we've been seeing over the past week. I'll have more on that coming up next.
And a man accused of stabbing a police officer during a traffic stop is due before a judge this morning. We're taking a look at what led to that attack.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month is underway. I'm Kaylee Collins in Torrington with how the community here is remembering victims and offering support to survivors.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. It is Friday. We're glad you're with us and kicking off the weekend here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus, America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Let's get you your weekend forecast. Right over to meteorologist Matt Scott. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm well. It's Friday. We're kind of, after a long week, we're racing for the finish here. And if you're racing, probably not advised this morning. There is some fog in places, so slow it down, road warriors. A few raindrops greet us in the weekend forecast. They don't last, but neither does the heat. We have some cooler temperatures coming. We'll talk about that coming up. Here's your visibility now. It's patchy, but where it is settling in, it's reducing things. The viewpoint, quarter mile in Hartford and Wilmanic, 3/4 of a mile in Danbury, right in the center of the state, right where 691 and 91 meet up. You get a lot of fog in those little pockets there often. That's waiting for you too. Above the fog, not much. A decent amount of sunshine. We'll mix it in with some clouds, as has been the case all week long. Once we get through that today, I think we'll start to see a pattern change. 53 in Hartford, 54 in New Haven, 50 degrees in Groton, on the way up to a very mild low to mid 70s out there. It says cloudy, but they're like the last few days, pockets of sunshine in there and mild temperatures. Weekend forecast details on the way. Good morning, Rachel Piscatelli.
Hey, good morning, Matt. We are following a crash now at this hour on 91 southbound over in the North Haven area out by exits about 9 and 8 this morning. Left lane is blocked, so we are starting to see some delays building in the area. After you get through that, a live look outside showing you just out by exit 8. It does look better. Volume is light at this hour, so just give yourself some extra time if you plan on heading out the door now. Your drive times, though, because volume is so light from New Haven to Hartford, both directions here, a 35-minute drive. Tim and Erica, back to you.
Rachel, thank you. Today, the man who's accused of attacking and stabbing a police officer in Woodbury is expected to face a judge.
That officer was injured but is expected to be okay. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is joining us in the studio with more on what we know that happened there. Lindsay, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Police have identified the suspect as 31-year-old Tyler Wilmot from Woodbury. He's facing attempted murder charges for stabbing a police officer in the neck. Now, this all happened yesterday afternoon around 1 o'clock. State police say a Woodbury police officer, Tim Wright, made a traffic stop on North Main Street. Driver got out of his car and allegedly started to attack Officer Wright. He then pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the neck. Another officer was able to use a taser and capture Wilmot, who ran from police. Officer Wright was taken to the hospital, but is expected to recover from his injuries. Now, neighbors say they've never seen a situation like that in their normally quiet town.
Yeah, it's scary. You think you live in this quiet little country town, and then all of a sudden something like this happens, and it's somebody who lives literally across the street from you, so it's pretty shocking.
Police say Officer Wright's body camera was on and footage will be released pending the investigation. Wilmot is expected to face a judge today, facing numerous charges, including attempted murder. You can stick with us on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus as we continue to monitor what happens inside that courtroom today. Tim and Erica will send things back over to you.
Lindsay, thanks so much. Well, Hartford police say 30-year-old named Shivolia Rivers of Manchester was killed in a shooting yesterday afternoon. We're told that he was shot on Florence Street and then taken to the hospital and later died. Police believe someone fired shots at Rivers after a fight. So far, no arrests have been made. A 6-year-old boy was seriously injured after he was hit by a school bus. It happened just after 4 yesterday on Garden Hill Circle in Waterbury. Right after the crash, the boy was rushed to St. Mary's Hospital. Because his injuries are serious, he was transferred to the Children's Hospital in Hartford. So far, no charges have been filed.
Of the more than 200 people now who are confirmed to have died from Hurricane Helene so far, More than half of them died in North Carolina. Search and rescue teams are still combing through rural communities in that state, communities that are still all but cut off from the outside world. No electricity, no cell service, and many, if not all of the roads in and out of those towns have been washed away. Now, some Good Samaritans are using mules at this point to try to get those people food, water, and medical supplies. Helene is the deadliest hurricane to strike the mainland U.S. since Katrina back in 2005. And more than a dozen Connecticut National Guard members are shipping out this morning on a mission to help those victims in western North Carolina.
Well, this is the third Guard team to head south in just the past week. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live at the Army Aviation Base in Windsor Locks right now with details on the mission. When are they expected to leave, Brooke?
Well, it's actually in just a few hours. That'll be around 9:30 this morning that they will go wheels up. They're going to head down to Salisbury, North Carolina. That's just outside of Charlotte. Then they're going to pick up the supplies. That could be food, water, clothing, whatever it may be. And then they're going to take it over to western North Carolina. A lot of those communities near Asheville that are just cut off from the rest of the world at this point. The roads are gone. There's rock slides. Those people pretty much have to receive all of their help or rescue from the air now. Now, last Thursday, Hurricane Helene ripped through the south, taking a pretty massive toll on western North Carolina. The number of deaths from the hurricane has now surpassed 200, as Tim just mentioned, with many of those coming out of the Smoky Mountains. Many communities and homes are still cut off from help as the roads and infrastructure in western North Carolina have been completely washed away. The Connecticut National Guard sent 2 teams down already with helicopters and manpower to help distribute supplies. They went down as early as last Friday morning. Today, another air team will arrive to help, and they're going to stay for about a week. Guard leaders say the last time these units were sent to a hurricane-hit area was also for North Carolina, but along the coast. That was in 2018 for Hurricane Florence's impact. He tells us this kind of mission is what they're trained for.
We have an agreement between the states where, we can help each other out as such in this case. So this is something that we look forward to doing. We look forward to helping the states in any way we can, when we can. And it's something that we're very well equipped to do and always ready to do.
And again, that team is going to leave in those helicopters around 9:30 this morning. We'll, of course, be here for that. And I'll have more on just what exactly they plan to do, what kind of supplies they're going to bring with them, and all of the above coming up later today. Live in Windsor Locks, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thanks for the update. Well, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and communities all across Connecticut are mourning victims and supporting survivors.
Yeah, they're also providing important resources and services to those who may need them. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins has this report from Torrington, where dozens of people gathered for a candlelight vigil last night.
Each year in October, the Susan B. Anthony Project holds this vigil in honor of anyone impacted by domestic violence and also to remember all the victims. It was a solemn yet supportive night Thursday at Coe Park in Torrington, where victims of domestic violence were remembered.
Long live Sophie Grace.
And survivors celebrated.
Domestic violence is very real, and it's here, and we need to do something about it.
The annual candlelight vigil hosted by the Susan B. Anthony Project serves both as a space to memorialize victims.
There was an incident back in Burlington in 2023. Close friend lost her life to her boyfriend, domestic violence. I think it was a great thing doing this. I think we should remember her in many ways. She was a great person. Shouldn't just be forgotten.
And to shed light on work being done to prevent deadly domestic violence incidents.
Because if we can teach people how to resolve their conflicts, how to, stop bullying, how to set healthy boundaries, how to, accept and love other people despite whatever diversity that they may have, then we're going to be a much safer community overall.
Here in Connecticut, 26 people lost their lives due to domestic violence last year.
It's not something that happens just here or just there or not in our community. It's in your community whether you realize it or not.
We have resources for anyone impacted by domestic violence available at fox61.com. Those gathered here encourage anyone who's experiencing violence at the hands of an intimate partner to not hesitate to seek help. Reporting in Torrington, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kaylee, thank you for that. And here are just some of those resources. You can call either one of the phone numbers on your screen to reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline or the CT Safe Connect hotline. Each of those websites, also on your screen, they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for anyone who may need help.
Well, Election Day is just over a month away now, and the Harris campaign is highlighting a key endorsement. Liz Cheney appeared at a campaign event in Ripon, Wisconsin, which is the birthplace of the Republican Party back in 1854. And Cheney, the longtime Republican lawmaker, shared why she is throwing her support behind Kamala Harris.
Vice President Harris has dedicated her life to public service. I know that she loves our country, and I know that she will be a president for all Americans.
And the vice president is expected to continue campaigning later today in Flint, Michigan.
Donald Trump also on the campaign trail in Michigan, encouraging people to go vote. Absentee ballots have been available in that state since last Friday. In previous elections, the former president had been critical of absentee voting and voting by mail. However, yesterday he appears to have shifted his view.
Early mail-in voting is underway now in Michigan, so if you want, go out and get that ballot, return it as soon as possible. And if not, get a ballot, just go and vote. You got to vote. We got to win this election.
Trump's campaign says it has raised $160 million since September and has $283 million in the bank. The Harris campaign has not released her final fundraising numbers for September just yet.